Have you ever avenged a loved one? After both of my parents suddenly passed in a boating accident when I was just 8 years old, CPS branded me as an orphan, and after what felt like a lifetime of begging, we only found one person willing to take me in. It wasn't any of my family's friends, none of my teachers, not even my aunts and uncles. It was my grandfather. We weren't super close prior, but it turned out that living with him was the best thing that could have happened to me. He was the type of person to warm up the car for you on cold mornings without asking, to make your favorite meal after a bad day without needing to ask what happened. He was the type of man to read the newspaper out loud so the room didn't feel so quiet, but he was also stone cold too, so much so that I fully believed my parents' death didn't even upset him. He would comfort me all while acting completely unaffected. As I grew into my teenage years and started high school, he was always there to support me. Even when I started getting bullied, this group of kids would kick me into lockers, throw eggs at me as I walked home, and when I told my grandpa, I expected him to tell my teachers, but instead, he baked me brownies and told me to leave them on top of my locker during lunch. I had no idea what he meant, but I trusted him, so I did. And lo and behold, during gymnastics and PE after lunch, a brown river started leaking from their trouser pants, because my grandpa had put laxatives in the brownies and knew they wouldn't be able to resist stealing at least one each. That day, I laughed so hard my organs felt like they were going to jump out of my body, and I never doubted him again, until I got home one day in 12th grade, when I got home and saw an eviction notice in the post. I brought it to my grandpa, and a wave of sadness instantly washed over him. I don't know what happened. One day, the IRS was contacting me. Next thing I know, all my savings are gone. Everything I've ever worked for, and the bank won't do anything. I felt tears sting my eyes. I couldn't believe my granddad had kept this from me for so long. I grabbed his phone and asked him to show me the text. You owe $7,200 in unpaid taxes. Pay now, or police being arrest you today. He said he put in his details, and the IRS had taken everything. I didn't have the heart to tell him it was a scam text, so I let him believe it truly was just a technological error. I gave him a hug and told him we'd figure it out as he cried into my arms. But inside, a storm was brewing. I could feel my pulse in every inch of my body. My face was red hot. The worst part? He didn't even seem sad about the money. He just seemed worried about me. He must have said sorry about 200 times before I finally convinced him that I wasn't upset. But that day, something shifted. Over the next week, as we tried to figure out what to do, my grandpa had changed. There was a constant dullness in his eyes. His hands were constantly trembling, and I could see him shaking. And under the condition that I would pay her back, my aunt finally agreed to pay for a hospice. Driving him there broke my heart, but I knew it was the best thing for him, until I got my hands on that filthy scammer. Because one thing about trauma, it makes you intelligent, resourceful, crafty, and I was going to give all that I got into making sure that scammer paid the price for what he did. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.